Hello everyone. So in this video, I wanted to talk about one important topic, and each and every Jira admin should take care of this particular problem. Now, whenever you sync your Jira production data to your Jira staging, which you should do regularly, there are a few things that you need to do, right? And you should basically follow a checklist. Now, first of all, you should have a Jira staging environment, number one. And if you have a Jira staging environment, then you definitely need to keep it up to date with production data and of course configuration. So this is a prerequisite for this video. So I'm sure you know the benefits. I mean, if you're doing any development or if you're doing some changes on your Jira instance, and of course don't really do it directly on production, do it on staging. In fact, do it on dev and then push it to staging and then push it to your production. Now, there is also a problem with this approach. It's not a problem. Basically, there is no workaround to this. You will be doing changes to Jira production without doing it on Jira staging, right? There is absolutely no way. I mean, you can do it. For example, if you take care of a Jira instance, like a big Jira instance, then you will receive request. Now you will receive a request to do some changes on custom fields or add some options to the custom field values or maybe make some changes with the workflows. You can't possibly do it properly all the time on Jira staging first and then ask the stakeholders to review it on Jira staging and then do the same thing on production. It's a pain, right? It's a waste of time. But a workaround to this is to make sure that your Jira instance, your Jira staging environment, from time to time is synced with your production data. Now the problem is whenever you sync something with like the way you would sync your Jira staging environment with production data and of course configuration is basically do like a database dump, and you can worry about the attachments if you think you need attachments, but you can basically use the database, replace it on your Jira staging and potentially your files as well. But the moment you do it, you have a staging environment where you will have few things that you need to do. Number one, I don't really have a count, but let us see. So I'm of course not trying to remember what we try to do anyways. So whoever is doing it, you have to ensure that they know about these things. First of all, disable all the jobs. Now, it happened with me many times where people were complaining about receiving some emails from Jira, and those emails were about some issues, and it was wrong. The status was closed 6 months ago or 2 months ago, and they're still receiving an email about some blocker tickets or critical tickets. So this is just one example where you will receive emails from Jira potentially if you have a script. Now you would ask me, Ravi, we have disabled the email server on or using a flag, using a JVM flag, you can actually disable the emails on Jira staging environment. But the problem with this is that it doesn't really work always with a script. So if you have written a script where the script is sending an email, that script will still work. So this is just one example. Like, I mean, based on your situation, your environment, you should make a list of things that you need to do after the thing. What else I think you need to do? I think you should definitely take a look at some integrations where Jira is talking to some other tool. Now, of course, there is no limit, right, to this. Your Jira can be linked to Salesforce, your Jira could be linked to Slack, your Jira could be linked to GitHub or Bitbucket or some other tool, or maybe there is some tool that is talking to Jira. So usually, not always, whenever you do something on Jira staging, integrations can potentially, I mean, not always, you have to review it. It can potentially, it won't work because your Jira instance URL will be different, right? And this is something that you should be, there's no like clear answer to this, like your integrations will work or will not work, but keep like make a list and take a look at your current integrations and see if something needs to be disabled or not disabled, because you don't really want Jira to send data to some other tool, especially Jira staging, right? Okay, so there are a few more things that I'm trying to remember. Of course, your Jira staging environment will not have the emails. You should definitely disable the emails using a flag. But some of your users might want to have emails, right? So you need to also educate them that yes, you're working on Jira staging, but emails will not work, and they may still request you to enable the emails on Jira staging. So don't do that. Don't really think about doing it, because when you have emails enabled on a Jira staging environment or dev environment, then it can cause a big confusion. And even if someone is asking to do it for you, like they're requesting it because they want to test something, don't do it. I mean, it's not really worth doing it. What you can potentially do is, I mean, no, don't do it. I mean, you might think that okay, I'll probably just use some another email server, but the problem is that emails are sent to actual people based on their email addresses, right? So this is something to be on a safer side. Just keep it disabled and keep it off, right, using the JVM flag. Okay, so what else? So we have our Jira staging environment. What you should also do is, by the way, it is probably not related to the syncing part, but whenever you sync something, like imagine you have like replaced your Jira Production data files on your Jira staging. So your Jira staging will actually look like Jira Production. What I always do is I have a banner on Jira staging environment, have a different color scheme on Jira staging environment. So make a list of these things that you need to do. Like after you have done the sync, make sure your Jira looks different. Make sure your Jira is visibly different for everyone, so that no one is like confused, because it can actually cause problems. And keeping a Jira staging environment in sync is important. And unfortunately, the way Jira configurations work, you don't really push. I mean, I would prefer configurations as code, right? Which is technically, in a way, possible, but it is like too cumbersome to manage on Jira. Jira was not fundamentally designed to have these configurations stored as code. I mean, you can definitely do changes using APIs potentially, but there are so many things that you can do in Jira. But don't do it. Just do it. Like, for example, imagine you have to add a custom field option, right? Now you would probably say that, okay, maybe we can try to do it using a script and then run the script. But again, even to run a script, you have to go to the UI, right? That is a problem. That is again a major problem with, I mean, not really a problem with Jira, but as I mentioned, Jira was fundamentally not designed for basically configuration changes, moving configurations from one environment to another environment. So yeah, that is all I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope I've given you some ideas and something to think about. Of course, the list that I talked about, the checklist, you have to review your instance and then make your own checklist. But I wanted to talk about this topic because it is important. All right, that is it. That is all I wanted to talk about. And in this video, I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something new today. Thank you very much. Bye bye.